Love a good rain. Thanks for tuning in today. We got to talk. It's Thursday, December 18th, 2025. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to get right into this video today. As most of you know, we got the CPI number today coming in at 2.7%. Core CPI came in at, I believe, 2.6%. The question is, do you trust the data? I think the latest numbers are a joke. Anybody out there that thinks inflation is 2.7%, you're living in another world. This CNBC article titled "Trust These Numbers?" ? Economists see a lot of flaws in delayed CPI report showing downward inflation. I don't see it happening. I go to the grocery store at least once a week. Yes, gas prices are down, but you look at health insurance, auto insurance, food prices, child care, pay for a service, have a plumber come over, have an electrician come over, and you'll see that prices are not coming down. So what do you think? Let me know your thoughts on this. Do you think the CPI number is really 2.7%? Do they really think that they're fooling us? Now, I did not watch the president last night, but I heard a little bit on the television today. He was touting the economy as the best economy ever, strong economy, people are doing great, et cetera, et cetera. Again, I didn't watch it, just some excerpts I heard on the television today. But the national debt clock completely disagrees with this administration. And look, I don't want to see the administration fail. I don't want to see America fail, but we got to keep it real here. We got to be honest with ourselves. The national debt clock is saying quite the contrary to what the administration is saying. And any one of you could pull up the national debt clock. Just Google it. But I want to go over some of the data that the national debt clock has. And I just got this about an hour ago. National debt clock, here we are, $38.495 trillion. Debt to GDP, 121.68%. In 1960, this is amazing, the debt to GDP was 52%. 1980, it was only 34.73%. In 2000, it was 54.9%. And here we are now at almost 122% and climbing. Interest on the debt, $967.8 billion. We might as well just say $1 trillion. The defense budget is $931 billion. So the interest on the debt now is bigger than the U.S. defense budget. Social Security is taking up $1.6 trillion. Medicare, Medicaid, $1.7 trillion. This is what we pay into it. Credit card debt sitting at $1.3 trillion. That is $8,135 per card holder. More and more debt. Remember, that's 25, 27, 30% interest on that debt. The U.S. workforce sits at 164 million people. Back in 2020, it was 164,658,312. So the workforce has actually gone down in the last 5 years. Officially, we have 7.7 million unemployed, but unofficially, the actual unemployed number is 14.2 million. Healthcare now costs $15.9 thousand. Back in 2000, it cost $5,000. How many people are not in the labor force? 103.5 million people not in the labor force. And you listen to the administration, everybody's working. It's the best economy ever. Everything's going good. I just don't see it, ladies and gentlemen. Dollar to silver ratio now, $1,164 per ounce. Back in 1913, it was $2.74. Dollar to gold per ounce, $9.2 thousand. Back in 1913, it was $25.80. So again, listening to some of the excerpts of what the president was saying, how good everything is, you can't argue with this. U.S. homeless, 735,000. People living in poverty in the U.S., 37 million. U.S. bankruptcies, 562,000. Foreclosures, almost 90,000. People without insurance in the U.S., 27 million. Drug deaths, 119.7 thousand people a year. Paper to silver ratio, 356 to 1. Paper to gold ratio 141.7 to 1. This is concerning. We're going to see big trouble, because when entities or people want the real thing, want their gold, want their silver, they're not going to get it. Think about that. They're selling 356 pieces of paper to 1 ounce of silver. You're not, if you think you own silver or gold because you have a piece of paper, you're completely wrong. You're not getting the physical. And so we continue, I think, to really get things confused when it comes to the physical number versus the paper number. They're two different animals. One's physical, one's paper. You either hold it or you don't. If you don't hold it, you don't own it. And this is why it's so imperative to own this stuff, because they are selling so much paper. And this is how they've been controlling the market for so long. But the physical market is going to win here, ladies and gentlemen. U.S. millionaires, 23.9 million millionaires in America. Food stamp recipients, 41.3 million Americans. Top 1% wealth have $20.2 million. The bottom 50% of wealth have $35.3 thousand. Since 1913, the dollar has lost 96.23% of value. Debt held by foreign countries, $9.4 trillion. U.S. trade deficit, $1 trillion. There's no way you're going to tell me that things are good. Wow, it's really coming down. This is really, really nice. The pond is getting topped off here. Absolutely gorgeous. Sitting out here, beautiful, beautiful storm. Getting some nice, well-deserved water here on the property. Absolutely beautiful. TheBurningPlatform.com. Title: This is why you should own gold. And by the way, gold is not Trump's friend, that is for sure. The fact that gold is hitting new all-time highs almost daily, same thing with silver, is telling us that the economy is not what Trump is touting. And I don't know why he's doing this. I wish he would just be honest with the American people. I know nobody wants to be the bad guy. I know nobody wants to crash the markets, but you are doing such a disservice not warning the American people what is coming. And what is coming is going to be really, really bad for this country. And it's going to be really, really bad for the average person, average household. And nobody is warning the people. And this is why I make these videos daily. Thank you for watching today. Please like, share, and subscribe, and all that good stuff. But nobody is warning the people. Yes, there are people on social media. There are people that are awake and warning. But we need our president to wake up and wake up the American people what is going on. Global debt went from $173 trillion back in 2008 to today, $346 trillion. $346 trillion in global debt and $4.9 trillion of annual interest on that debt. Completely unsustainable. It's unpayable. Please, President Trump, wake up. Get the American people ready for the depression that is coming. It is unavoidable. This debt can never be paid back. The dollar is on borrowed time. We don't even know if we have gold at Fort Knox. What happened to that? There's so many things that have been promised and not been followed through with. And this is unbelievable. Dan Bongino announces he's resigning from the FBI in January. What is going on with this? Very, very concerning. I believe that maybe, he might have been threatened or something's going on behind the scenes, but this thing smells really, really bad, ladies and gentlemen. Dan Bongino resigning. Imagine what he must know. Imagine what he has seen. He's never going to tell us. No way, because if he does, he will never be seen again, probably. But imagine what he knows. Really, really sad. And, I think he's a pretty good guy. At least, I thought he was. Maybe he isn't. I don't know. But I think he is. And he had really good intentions, talked a big game, and he's already leaving. So I think there's some real serious corruption. I think he's seen some really, really bad things going on behind the scenes. Maybe he just doesn't want to be a part of it. Maybe he was told to bounce. I don't know. But Dan Bongino is bouncing. He is leaving the FBI. Maybe just, can't take what he's seeing. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe he was threatened. Nobody's really going to know. We're never going to know. So, but I don't think it's a good sign for the future of this country. We got some really, really bad people out there, and they're behind the scenes doing some really, really bad things. So be preparing, ladies and gentlemen. Number one asset, walk close to God. Please be walking close to God. I'm going to leave it there today. I'm going to enjoy the rain. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful. Have a nice rain like this and just chill out. Very, very quiet. The rest of my family is going to be out here next week. Looking forward to that. Mimi will be here. She's looking forward to getting back here. The entire family will be here. The cats will be, everybody's going to be here. So that'll be nice. Still a lot to do here. Got to get this house painted. Got to get this porch sanded down and redone, but that'll be probably in the first quarter of 2026. Got to make this livable, because I think we're going to be hunkering down here for a while. I really do truly believe things are going to get bad, and I thank God that I'm here in South Bama, chilling out, safe and sound, and we're just going to try to weather this storm the best that we can, and I hope that you do the same wherever you're doing it at. God bless. Take care. Please like, share, and subscribe. Talk to all of you soon.